The West Barnstable shooting range is one step closer to opening. We bring you details from last night's Conservation Commission meeting on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, October 16th, 2013. I'm Sarah Mantle. New hours of operation and fees for the West Barnstable shooting range are given the green light by the Conservation Commission. It was standing room only yet again at last night's CONCOM meeting, with shooting range supporters filling town hall to hear about the new rules and share their thoughts. West Barnstable resident Hillary Sandler lives near the range and wants to limit the hours of operation.
I really hope the Conservation Commission would consider the impact of the shooting range on the quality of life of those of us who are not users of the range. And I really feel the best way to do this at the current time is to limit the hours of operation to those that were proposed by the Assistant Town Manager, Mark Ells, and that is to keep them to Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, with no use on Sundays or Wednesdays. I really felt that in this way, both users and non-users each get to have one weekend day that really suits their preference. I'm aware that many users of the West Barnstable Gun Range are also members at other ranges that do have Sunday hours, so they could still have the opportunity to shoot on Sundays if they wanted to. According to what Mr. Ells and his committee had proposed, the hours would be approximately equal to the weekly hours that are available at the Bass River Gun Range. However, with the proposed expansion of hours, that number increases to about 36 hours per week, and more hours of use represents an increase in noise, an impact on wildlife, pollution, and maintenance needs for the site. So I am opposed to the Conservation Commission's expansion of hours past those proposed by Assistant Town Manager Mark Ells.
Judy DeRozier, also a resident of West Barnstable, questioned the process that was used to create the new regulations.
I would like to say that I wish the commission would accept the recommendations of the town study committee. I think that they, as some speakers have said previously, create a greater balance between the needs of the neighbors and also the needs of the gun owners and shooters in the area. It does not seem to me a good municipal practice to create a citizen study committee and have them work in a structured process of discussion in a structured way and have them come up with recommendations and then essentially either dismiss or not ignore, but it's confusing to a citizen when there's a process put in place to investigate an issue in depth and recommendations are made and then they aren't apparently honored. And I think that sends a very poor message to interested citizens. I think it's confusing to residents who are active in civic affairs. And I think in addition to resolving the needs of these various users, I think some attention should be given to what this indicates about a municipal process for making decisions on a very controversial issue like this.
Commission member Scott Blazes responded, admitting the process of developing the new regulations was an awkward one.
There exists a multitude of models that in recent history have produced successful management plans across the town. And this is a glaring instance of where those models weren't followed. We have had harbor management plans crafted. We've had various difficult issues with respect to classifying shellfish areas around town, all put together, with the cooperations of various boards and commissions and the input of interested citizens, and those recommendations, when brought before this board, or even those were modified as needed. But the process this time was an awkward one, and it's awkward for you, and it was awkward for us. And that's why these public hearings are going on, to rectify those perhaps procedural errors.
Commissioner John Abadili says it was tough to balance range user concerns with neighbor concerns.
Peter and I have been accused of saying that we're kind of biased towards the range because we shoot at the range. I would respectfully disagree with that. I think, at least speaking for myself, I've tried very hard to be objective in analyzing the concerns of abutters with the concerns of shooters. And I think the need to reach a compromise position is clear to me. I think, as Councilor Kennedy just said, the fact is that there has been a substantial increase in use. And I think that has to be considered in evaluating hours of operation. At the same time, on the other hand, it was fairly clear from everybody 2 weeks ago that to squeeze the hours down is going to create immeasurable problems in terms of managing the range, in terms of the noise during those hours, and it's going to, I think, if you cut out Sunday, totally limit the use of the range as it has traditionally been.
Marston's Mills resident Wes Bullock spoke out against the fee increases.
This is like increasing your property taxes and denying you access to your own driveway. That's what this feels like. We're going to jack the prices and let you go, make you go less. Does that make sense? And you talk about a business plan? Who would want to do business with somebody like that? It should keep the range open longer. Maybe even extend the rifle range further. Put in ricochet traps to block some noise. Make it nice and attract people from all around to come use it, so you bring in more revenue. But it seems like you just want to take our money and tell the shooters just go away. That's what it feels like. This is not fun. I just drove from Worcester to be here. I work in Worcester and Boston. I'm in a different place every day. I don't have a lot of time. I'd rather be with my kids at home than standing here in front of you. But I am really upset that you took the gun range away, which feels like my piece of land, because I live right near it, and I pay to use it, and you shut it down. It's not fun. Now, if I took away your driveway and tripled your property taxes, that's kind of how I feel. And I'm sure a lot of people here feel the same way. And I'm curious.
President Michael Ferreira responded to Bullock, arguing that the fee increases are necessary.
Just want to comment on the fees. $90 is very reasonable. I understand you guys have insurances to pay for. That's what the money's going to. That's what it's going to. They have to carry a liability that's very expensive.
While others, like Barnstable resident Kevin York, thought the fees would not be competitive with other private ranges in the area.
Being a resident of Barnstable, I don't have any particular, for me, I don't have a particular problem with the fee structure for residents. I would say that the model for non-residents, and there's a substantial number of permit holders that are non-residents, that the permit structure for non-residents will not support the model, the financial model that you've created, for the simple reason that at $160, for instance, Bass River Rod and Gun Club currently is $175 a year. With that membership, you get 3 beautifully maintained outdoor pistol ranges, a 100-yard rifle range, a 50-yard rifle range, a 3D archery course.
Ultimately, the Conservation Commission approved standard time hours of 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sundays and holidays. During daylight savings time, the range will be open Wednesday through Friday until 7 p.m. and Saturdays until 5. Fees will be $90 a year for Barnstable residents and $160 per year for non-residents. Police will have use of the range on Mondays or Tuesdays. An opening day for the range has yet to be determined. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.